everybody. Welcome back to my channel. So, I'm not sure what to call this video. I got both of these recommendations from a YouTuber called Katie Carlson. I'm hoping I'm saying her last name correctly. But, I don't know. Like, I would have maybe picked up one of these books, maybe, but not the other one. I'm trying to get into a lot more like mystery thrillers, horror. So I'm trying to see kind of what I like, what I don't like. This book is fiction, but so because a lot of my YouTubers I watch are actually mystery thriller, horror, not. And then mix in fantasy once in a while. And then mix like sci-fi and dystopian. So that's more of what I watch. I do have the fantasy. And then I do have some romance and fantasy romance people I watch. So I'm going on my journey of trying to find what I like in certain things. Last year I was in a big, huge kind of fantasy romancy. I read Fate, Ink and Blood last year. I read my next ACOTAR book and just kind of figuring out what I like from just different genres in general. So it's probably going to be more of finding reads based off of YouTube, something like that. But anyway, I wanted to first, just because this is a more serious book, trigger warnings for SA. That's all this book is about. This book is not about anything else, really. This is Any Man by Amber Tamblyn? Sorry, guys. Tamblyn. Amber Tamblyn. This book is about pretty much a serial SAer. That's a woman that's attacking men. I have a background in forensic psychology, so I wanted to read this book once I've kind of found out about it and read it through that lens, but I didn't necessarily want to buy it, so I just ran into this at the library. And I just wanted to read it to see how she went through how men would react to this. And it's not like it's like a flip of the script like I thought it might be, where men kind of went through a similar thing like a woman would, and the interrogation and stuff like that. There is some of that in here. There is some of like, well, what did you wear? What led you to this? Did you, flirt? Did you, make a certain look? Like, stuff like that is in here. But it's more of a dialogue breaking this factor of, okay, who's the weaker sex? Is it men or women? And it really sheds a light on the fact that we really don't have a weaker sex. That we are all equal, and all of this terrifying stuff that does happen to women can happen to men too. So this was a very emotional read for me, just because of the fact that when I was going through school, I didn't hear about any cases about men. They were, if I saw anything like that, it was women, and how women would be interrogated. I think there's more. This book was interesting, especially when you got towards the end with the, like, chat room stuff where, like, people were just, like, talking about the case. Like this right here. I'm not like that. This was interesting because there was still a comment from somewhere on here, like, men, this doesn't happen to men. And, Yeah, I mean, I definitely do agree. Like, it's not well known, but it does happen. And that's probably why, like, I don't know, I forgot, like, this book was a little bit complex. I'm giving this a 4.5 stars. I almost didn't want to give you guys my rating, but it's a little poetic. It is a little flowery for me based off of kind of what I thought this book was going to be. I did not think there's a lot of flowery writing. There's a lot of poetry in here. I thought it was going to be more of a little bit more of a direct story. The writing's beautiful. Like, this is really easy. Not easy in the sense of the subject matter, like easy to read in, like, you have mixed format and it's a really fast read. If you can get through it, which I didn't have problems, but again, with my background in forensic psychology, I studied psychology for 8 years, if not more, and things don't affect me as much as they probably should. But I was still impacted by this. I still think this is an important read, and this is an important read for, teachers that are teaching psychology in this manner, that, we don't always, like, the victim is not always going to be, like, cut and dry, like, the police want it to be, or the public wants it to be. Like, there is going to be cases like this. As much as we don't want to think about it. And, obviously, it's scarier for men in actuality because us as women, we're so on edge because of the fact that, like, what is he going to put in my drink and all this stuff that we've learned as women to fear. Men don't fear it as much in a lot of context. So this is just a really important book. I think the author did do a good job with the internal struggle of, I think, his name was Daryl. I think most of what we were listening to is Daryl. I know we go through a couple different perspectives, but he was the one with the wife, and he loses his private parts, and how he would struggle through that mentally by himself. And I think that was, to me, the most powerful story that we got. I think because that was the story that we were following the most. I think I got to really know the character within the amount of pages that I had to spend with him. But mostly why I was reading this book was the public response to the case. I was very interested to see, like, okay, what would the victim shaming be like in something like this? And I think the victim shaming is still pretty much the same as you would see with women. There was still, like, that aspect of, okay, this doesn't happen to men, like what were you doing type of thing. Like, how did a woman, like, overpower you? Because obviously you have that, like, power dynamic that we associate with men a lot. And everything. I'm gonna post for both of these books. I'm gonna post Katie's review on both of these books, and link it, connect it to her channel. I think she does a little bit better of a job because it's actually, like, her reading the book and she's, like, commenting and stuff like that. But it was so good. It was well written for the amount of pages. Like, I can't believe how much filling and how much background we got with these characters with how short of a time, like, we would spend with some of these men. And everything. It's a, if you can read something that is in this subject matter, I would say this is a very important book to read if you think you can handle it. Like, if you don't think you can handle this book, like, don't pick this book up. Like, this book is very graphic. Even with the flowery writing, sometimes, like, I didn't completely get what he was trying, like, the author was trying to say with some of the dialogue, and some of the poetry. Like, I was like, okay, I'm a little confused, but this is very graphic. This is very much in your face. This is what I went through. This is how I live my daily day-to-day life now that this happened to me. So definitely I would pick this up. So, and then on a lighter note, I read Deanna Raybourn's Curious Beginnings, Veronica Speedwell Mystery. I wasn't sure if this was going to remind me of Bones, which I like Bones for the banter. Once the banter's gone, I don't like it anymore. This had beautiful, beautiful banter. And this man, Stoker, is the most feminist man, like, I think I've ever read. And he's, like, she's writing this in the Victorian time period where men were not allowed to, 100% outright, like, support women like Stoker does. And the mystery's there, and Veronica does, like, a really good job. What this is about is there's Veronica Speedwell. She is a butterfly catcher. Stoker is a taxidermy. He does all the taxidermy stuff. And for some, his friend is like, you need to protect this woman. She is in danger. Random man picks this woman up right here and it's like, yeah, you're in danger. Can't you see that your house has been broken into? And she's like, oh, that's all good. I was gonna go to London anyway. Thanks for the free ride. I love her sass so much. Like, I love this time period, but if you write women like this time period, it kind of drives me crazy sometimes. But, like, learning, like, the science and how they got to a lot of how they solve mysteries during this time period, I love. But then you have the women, and sometimes they drive me crazy. She's perfect. And so they get kind of put together, slammed together, and Stoker just doesn't seem like he likes her that much. Gets to know her a little bit. I cannot believe, and I know, I mean, you're looking at this book and you're like, oh, they probably know each other only for, like, maybe, like, I'm thinking, like, a week or a month. But this man gets her. This man is just like, yep, nope, I'm not going to tell her no, because that's just not going to work for me in the long run. And then she kind of calms down. Like, there's still a lot of sass, but she seems like she calms down, ends up, like, learning to trust him throughout the book. And the interesting thing with her is, like, she's very open about her love life. Like, she's like, I've traveled around the world, I've slept with this and this and this. And she's very open about it, which, Victorian time period, she's pretty much a spinster. And I think what's interesting about this book that, kept me on the edge, the mystery wasn't, the main mystery of why the guy dies is not the main mystery of this book. I don't want to spoil what the main mystery of this book is, but yeah, somebody gets murdered. Okay, cool. Well, you're still in danger, Veronica. We need to get out of here. and like all the places that they end up and everything that they have to do to keep their cover so she stays safe is like goes from like they're in a circus to like they have to hide out at a friend's house, and like the journey to get to the from the beginning to the end is just like so fast paced. And I haven't read like a fast paced, like I'm on the edge of my seat through the whole book. And I took Katie's advice and I listened to the audiobook. I would not recommend it any other way. Like, I could not imagine reading this book with my eyeballs. The audiobook is perfect. It's one narrator, which is fantastic. Like, she's fantastic and does like all the voices, and I'm like, okay, like, does not need full narration, and is not cringe. Sometimes it's cringe. But this was not cringe. Like, this was really well done. The audiobook, I would definitely suggest listening to it more than reading it. I'm not a big annotator, so I'm not gonna like annotate this book or anything. But I'm definitely like up for reading the sequel. I think there's 9 of these. There's a lot. And there was 6 when this came out, I guess. But yeah, I would definitely highly suggest it, especially if you want something that's in the Victorian period, like you like that period, but you're not necessarily always like the way that women are written. This is a really good book for you. It does remind me of Brennan, like early Brennan of the early seasons, in a very light way. I don't think Veronica's as bad as her, because like I watched that series because of Booth and him having to deal with Brennan like all the time. I never watched it because of Brennan. Like, her character kind of drove me a little crazy, but I liked both of them equally. And I don't know, like, obviously this is leading to like a romantic relationship. I think in the first book there's like tension, but it's not necessarily like fully there. So I don't know what it's going to be like in the next couple books. But I like that he understood her, didn't want her to change, was like, yep, this is how you are. And then he just took her with what she's, what she is, which I think a lot of, especially in the beginning, you definitely do feel the pressure for Veronica. There's like a scene in the beginning where it's like, oh, I found this guy, he has 5 kids, do you want to get, he's up for marriage, and then Veronica's like, no. So like, I really like this. I'm gonna read more, but I'm thanking Katie, because yeah, she is right. This is really good. This is also very, very good. I am going to link Katie's videos of both of these. Now, she does go through the full series of Veronica Speedwell in the one that I'm gonna probably post. So just be aware that she does go through the whole thing. She does have it split up really nicely, so no spoilers for anything. But I'm gonna link both of them. She's just been doing the YouTube thing longer, and I think she, especially for this review, I think she does a better job of kind of expressing her feelings and stuff. I took it a little bit different way. But if you just want to know, like, if is it a good book or not, like, what's the emotional standing from somebody that, that's kind of far away from psychology, and is a little bit more just like reading it for, I wouldn't say enjoyment. I don't think those are the type of books that you say, oh yeah, I enjoyed this book. I don't think that's the type of book, but somebody that's, just picked it up because they thought it was going to be interesting read, and then what they got from it. So I will post her videos. This is going to take I am proud of myself because I think I have videos almost to February now for my book review. So hopefully we'll see you I'll see you guys real soon here. Um and then yeah, I might have to maybe move. I'm not promising anything. I would hate to say that I'm going to do 3 videos a week. Um like I did in December. It just really depends on how much I film. Um because there's going to be a 2-part video of the library saved me money. It's not going to be a like an ongoing series or anything, but I just got a whole bunch of library books. Sorry guys. I got a whole bunch of library books, and I'm just like, once I have them, I'm like, I want to do something with them that just kind of tells us to support our libraries. But anyway, if you like this video, like and subscribe. We are almost to 50 subscribers, and I want to thank like I know like probably a lot of people turned off by now, but I want to thank anybody that has subscribed. It means so much. I'm slowly building both of my channels, and it's been really great. The community, when I get comments, are really super sweet. I haven't gotten anybody too nasty or anything when it comes to my videos. But anyway, see you in a video coming real soon. Bye.